In this session, we are going to see porosity and permeability. Both are important properties that are related to fluid in sediment rocks. Fluids can include water, hydrocarbon, and spilled contaminants. The most aquifer are only in sediment rocks. Virtually all hydrocarbons are contained in sediment rocks only. Porosity, it is defined as the volume of void space in a sediment rocks. Is expressed in percentage. Permeability is related to how easily fluid will pass through any granular material. It water transmit to one place to another. Porosity, the proportion of any material that is a void space is expressed as percentage of total volume of material. P equal to Vb by Vt into 100, where Vp is a total volume of pore space and Vt is a total volume of rock or sediment. In practice, the porosity is commonly based on measurements of total grain volume of granular material. The porosity is a broad measure of storage capacity of aquifer. Hence, it is a range of practical importance. They have unconsolidated and consolidated material. P equal to Vt minus Vg by Vt into 100, where Vg is the total volume of grain within the total volume of the rock or sediment. Vp equal to Vt minus Vg. The porosity varies from 0% to 70% in the natural sediments, but exceed 70% for freshly deposited muds. In unconsolidated material, clay 45 to 60%. In consolidated sandstone 5 to 30% porosity. Several factors control porosity. Packing density, the arrangement of the particle in the deposit. The more densely packed particle, the lower porosity. Example, perfect sphere of a uniform size. Let's look at this figure. The cubic packing is 48% of porosity. They have increasing packing density in cubic packing. In rhombohedral, decreasing porosity. The porosity can vary from 48% to 26%. Shape has an important effect on packing. Tabular rectangular particle can vary from 0% to just 150%. The porosity of sediment of tabular particle, let's look at this figure 1, less than 50% of the porosity. Now let's see the second one, 0% of the porosity. This is based on you can see the different color of variation. Natural particles such as shell can have very high porosity. The porosity of sediment of bivalve shell greater than percentage. In general, the greater angularity of particles, more open framework and greater possible porosity. Second one, grain size. First one, packing, and its own grain size has no influence on porosity. Consider a cubic of sediment of perfect sphere with a cubic packing. Now look at this figure. D means sphere diameter, N number of grain along a side. Find this example. P equal to Vt minus Vg by Vt into 100. P equal to Vt minus Vg by Vt into 100. Length of the side of the cube equal to D into N equal to Dn. The volume of cube Vt. So Vt equal to dn into dn equal to d cube n cube. The total number of grain n into n equal to n cube. The volume of single grain B equal to by 6 into d cube. The total volume of grain Vg. Vg equal n cube into by 6 into d3 equal to nt into by 6 into 3. P equal to Vt minus Vg by Vt into 100. Now Vt equal to d3 n3 and Vg equal to n3 into by 6 into d3. Therefore, now we substitute P equal to d3 n3 minus n3 into by 6 into d3 by t3 n3 into 100. Rearranging. Now let's remove d3, then n3. Therefore, P equal to within bracket 1 minus by 6 into 100 equal to 48%. Now the porosity of rock is 48%. Size does not affect the porosity. Hence that porosity is independent of grain size. No matter how large or small spherical grain in cubic packing have, a porosity is 48%. There are some indirect relationship between size and porosity. The large grain have higher settling velocity than smaller grains due to specific gravity or other influence. When grains settle through a fluid, a large grain will impact substrate with large momentum, possibly jostling the grain into tighter packing, a shape effect. Now let's see this figure. When we compare grain size fine to coarse, the fine size packing is consolidated sand. The consolidated sand tend to decrease in porosity with increasing grain size. In consolidated sand tend to increase in porosity with increasing grain size. Generally, unconsolidated sand undergo little burial and less compaction than consolidated sand. Fine sand has slightly higher porosity. Fine sand tend to more angular than coarse sand. Therefore, fine sand will support a more open framework than better rounded, more spherical coarse sand. Consolidated sand has undergone exposure to pressure of burial. Fine sand is angular with sharp edges, and the edges will break under the load pressure become more compacted, coarse and is better rounded and less prone to breaking under load. Therefore, the porosity is higher than that of fine sand. Now we see shorting in general. Better shorted sediment is greater porosity. In well shorted sand, the fine grain are not validated, are not available to fill the pore spaces. These figures show the relationship between shorting porosity for clay-free sand. The overall porosity decrease with increasing sorting efficiency. You can see this figure, the porosity versus standard deviation. The for coarse sand settled bottom and fine sand above, the overall porosity decreases with increasing sorting coefficient. For clay free sand, the reduction in porosity with increasing sorting coefficient is greater for coarse sand than for fine sand. The difference is unlikely if clay was available to fill the pores. For clay free sand, the silt and fine sand particles are available to fill the pore space between large grain and reduce porosity. You can see coarse sand and fine sand. Because clay is absent, less relatively fine material is not available to fill pore of fine sand. Therefore, the pores of fine sand will be less well filled. Post-burial changes in porosity include processes that reduce and increase porosity. The porosity that develops at the time of deposition is termed primary porosity. The porosity that develops after deposition is termed as secondary porosity. There is a difference between primary porosity and secondary porosity. Now look at this figure. This figure showing the overall with increasing burial depth, the porosity of sediment decrease. 50% reduction in porosity with the burial to 6 km depth due to variety of process. Now we come to compaction. Particles are forced into closer packing by weight of overlying deposit that will be reducing porosity. It may include breakage of grains. The most effective if clay mineral are present. We can see in shale mill. Freshly deposited mud may have 70% porosity, but burial under a kilometer of sediment reduce porosity to 5 or 10%. Now let's look at this figure. First one wet mud, then compact sediment, water. Now water expelled. Then come to cement and shale. The splitting surface, you can splitting surface appear. Cementation, the precipitation of new mineral from pore water causes the cementation of grain and act to fill pore space that will reduce porosity. When most common cement are calcite and quartzite. Now look at this figure. There is a void space and precipitating cement that will be reduced porosity. Now come to clay formation. Clay may form by chemical alteration of pre-existing mineral after burial. Feldspar are particularly common clay forming mineral. clay mineral are very fine grained, may accumulated in pore spaces, that also reducing porosity. Solution: if spore water are undersaturated with respect to mineral that making of a sediment, then some volume of mineral material is lost to solution. In this solution, the calcite that make up limestone is relatively soluble, and void spaces that are produced by solution range from size of individual grain to caverns. Also, in quartz is relatively soluble when spore water have low pH. In the solution of grain reduce Vg, that also increasing porosity. Solution is the most effective means of creating secondary porosity. Pressure solution: the solubility of mineral grains increase under the applied stress, and the process of solution under stress is termed pressure solution. Now look at this figure. You can see void space. The pressure solution result in a reduction in porosity in two different ways. One is it shorten in spore spaces as grains are dissolved. Second one, insoluble material within grain accumulate in the spore spaces as grain are dissolved. Next come to fracturing. The fracturing of existing rocks greater a small increase in porosity. The fracture is particularly important in producing porosity in rocks with low primary porosity. Why is porosity important? Especially because it allows us to make estimation of amount of fluid that can be contained in rock. It may be water, oil, spilled contaminated. Example from oil and gas exploration. Oil bearing unit, they have porosity ranges 10%. How much oil is contained in dissolved unit? In this case, assume that spore spaces of sediment in soil bearing unit are full of oil. Therefore, the total volume of oil is total volume of spore space in oil bearing unit. So now come to porosity P equal to Vb by Vt into 100. Vb equal to P into Vt into 100. Vt equal to 800 meter into 200 meter into 1 meter equal 1,60,000 cubic meter. The porosity value is 10%. Therefore, Pb equal to 10 into 1,60,000 by 100. Now Vp equal 60,000